Does this sound resonating to you? You've got an epiphany moment. I want to learn a new skill. I want to lose weight. That moment gave you an incredible motivation boost for a couple of days when everything seemed to be totally under your control. You took giant steps towards your goal. You practiced 2 straight hours playing guitar, or you hit the gym 3 days in a row. But then the initial motivation starts to dissipate and you suddenly start to feel mental resistance. Suddenly, you don't feel like hitting the gym at all. Instead of grabbing the guitar to practice, you grabbed the remote. What happened there? Why is it so hard to keep up with the promises we make to ourselves? One thing plays a vital role here: our expectations. When there's a new habit that you'd like to acquire, counterintuitively, the worst thing you can do is to dive in with the all or nothing mentality. Unfortunately, that's a perfect recipe for disaster. You've set the bar way too high, too early, which inevitably causes that mental resistance to take over. Like a frozen slippery uphill, it derails you the moment the motivation bubble bursts. Additionally, the disappointment that causes wires your brain to strengthen the mental resistance even further. The next time your brain comes to the conclusion it won't work faster, possibly before you even try. The last failed attempt triggers your brain to try to avoid that unpleasant feeling at any cost. So what's the solution? It's kinda soothing actually. Lower your expectations. I will show you how less is indeed more in this case. The perfect trick for your brain to let the mental resistance melt away is the 2-minute rule. Here's how it works. Instead of thinking that you have to tackle a complex or time-consuming task all at once, determine the first step and commit to taking action on that one thing for only 2 minutes. For example, instead of trying to force yourself to practice guitar for 1 hour at one sitting, commit to playing just one song that you are already familiar with. If you feel the urge to stop after that, it's perfectly fine. You kept the promise to yourself and can continue your day with no guilt or remorse. However, chances are that you won't stop there, because you've taken the step to the realm of Newton's first law of motion. The object in motion tends to stay in motion. You have turned yourself into an object in motion by committing to practice for only 2 minutes, which your brain could easily accept without an objection. And now, keeping that object, yourself, in motion has become surprisingly a lot easier. You're already doing it, so might as well keep doing it for a little longer. This approach is like a stealth move against procrastination. You're tricking your brain into believing that the task is so easy, it would be silly not to do it. And once the mental resistance of starting a task is removed, carrying on with it becomes a natural continuum. I can almost hear some people arguing that 2 minutes on anything important doesn't matter. There are 2 reasons why this couldn't be further from the truth. First, those small actions compound over time into significant progress. 2 minutes of deliberate daily practice equals over 12 hours total in 1 year. And that's with the assumption that you never exceed that 2-minute mark, which is basically impossible. But more importantly, the 2-minute rule is about building consistency, not intensity. It's the steady, gradual approach that rewires your brain and makes these activities a natural part of your life, instead of an obligatory evil that causes overwhelm and anxiety. So, the next time you find yourself facing mental resistance, take a step back, lower your expectations, and watch as those 2 minutes become the catalyst for the lasting change in your life. Now, combine the 2-minute rule with this brain trick to put your game on totally different level. If you found this one helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more ideas to forge the brain of steel of your own. Thanks for watching.